Shout out to Calderon Boxing Talk on YouTube.
What's up, y'all? It's your boy, Calderon, Stand Clear Entertainment, and we're about to get into this week's boxing talk. WBC middleweight champion Jermall Charlo and WBO middleweight champion Demetrius Andrade is the two top undefeated world champions at 160 pounds that have been repeatedly passed over by Mexico's biggest star, Canelo Alvarez, and by also the second best middleweight in the division, Gennady Golovkin, Triple G. Now, these guys have been winning against opposition that are not on their level. Demetrius Andrade is a very skillful southpaw with good boxing skills, decent punching power, and a very good ring IQ. While Jermall Charlo has been destroying guys left and right with his punching power, his very good jab, and his quickness. Both men are top-notch fighters. Both men deserve the big payday, but they're not getting it. They're not getting the big fight that they really want. The fight that they've been chasing after is Canelo Alvarez. Canelo Alvarez is just sitting on the sidelines right now, waiting till the month of November when he's expected to make his ring return. And that's supposed to be against Sergey Kovalev. That's the fight that he wants. He wants to move up to 175 pounds to face Sergey Kovalev for the light heavyweight championship of the world, the WBO title, so that he could be able to make history once again and become a 4-division world champion. It's a legacy fight, but it's a fight where we all know that he's not fighting the other top guys in the light heavyweight division. And I believe that this is a big mistake by Canelo Alvarez, which is going to backfire on Canelo Alvarez if Kovalev loses against Anthony Yarde, his mandatory, which is about to come up pretty soon. So that's what Canelo Alvarez is waiting for. He's waiting for Sergey Kovalev to take care of his mandatory, and then they could announce their fight in November. But what is Demetrius Andrade and Jermall Charlo supposed to do now? Because Gennady Golovkin, Triple G, is in negotiations right now to face Sergey Demchenko in October at Madison Square Garden, New York City for the vacant IBF middleweight crown. So both of these guys are basically unavailable for both Demetrius Andrade and Jermall Charlo. So why can't these guys come together for a title unification? It makes sense right now to make this fight. Both of these guys have a rivalry over the last few years since the junior middleweight division of 154 pounds when Demetrius Andrade was world champion in that division, and both Charlo brothers both held titles in that weight division as well. And they had several encounters, where Demetrius Andrade was at several PBC events and these guys were going at each other, shouting at each other, and they were about to erupt. So why can't these guys fight right now? Demetrius Andrade is on DAZN, and Eddie Hearn, the promoter for Demetrius Andrade, has made an offer previously to Jermall Charlo, both Charlo brothers, to come over to DAZN to fight on that network, but they passed on that opportunity. So right now, this is the perfect opportunity for Eddie Hearn to make another offer, a stronger offer to Jermall Charlo, because he has no options over there on Showtime or on Fox, any of the PBC networks, to face a top-notch fighter in the middleweight division. He's world champion, of course, with the WBC title that was given to him because Canelo Alvarez was basically upgraded to franchise, which is a ridiculous title. So Jermall Charlo is now the current WBC champion. And Jermall Charlo has to step up and be willing to do more because he is a free agent. He doesn't have a network contract. He doesn't have a promotional contract with anyone. He has an advisor, a powerful advisor by the name of Al Heyman, who has to allow him to come over and get the biggest payday that he could possibly have for multiple fights, because there's more than just one fight over there in DAZN for him. He has about 4 to 5 options over in DAZN where he could fight Demetrius Andrade right away in the first fight for a title unification. And this is two undefeated young fighters that boxing fans will definitely tune in. They could have this fight at the Barclays Center where Jermall Charlo and PBC have a very strong holding over there in New York City, or they could have it at Madison Square Garden where Eddie Hearn could put up a matchup in the Garden for both of these fighters, and it's still in the New York area where they could attract a very big crowd. You have Texas where Jermall Charlo has a very big fan base over there, and perhaps you could have Eddie Hearn doing another show like he had against Maurice Hooker versus Jose Ramirez. I see this fight as not being a roadblock for either man. You know, there's no mandatory on the table for either guy. These guys don't have anyone that they could fight, and they don't have a big opportunity to fight Triple G or Canelo. So they're the next best thing to come together at this moment in time to be able to make this fight a title unification. I don't see anyone in PBC offering big money, opening up the bank for Demetrius Andrade to come over and fight on Showtime or even Fox PBC. They're not willing to do a pay-per-view fight between these two fighters because it's not pay-per-view worthy. And they're not willing to pay a lot of money to Demetrius Andrade so that he could come over for a one-fight deal, because there's nothing over there other than Jermall Charlo for him. You know, there's no other big fights that he's going to sign a deal with those guys, you know, as far as the network deal is concerned, to really fight anybody else. So that means Jermall Charlo has better options to come over to DAZN, where he could fight guys like Demetrius Andrade, Billy Joe Saunders, who's now joined the team, and he said that he is willing to come down to 160 pounds because he can make the weight for the right fight opportunity. And he has talked a lot of trash about the Charlo brothers. So that's a perfect fight that Eddie Hearn could possibly make for Billy Joe Saunders versus Jermall Charlo. Also, you have Jaime Munguia, who's going to move up to 160 pounds after his next fight. So he's another opportunity in the middleweight division. And he's a young, undefeated fighter that's looking for a big opportunity in the middleweight division. And the WBC organization, which we know is a Mexican organization, will gladly sanction a fight between Jaime Munguia and Jermall Charlo. So I see a lot of opportunities. Triple G, if he wins the IBF title against Sergey Derevyanchenko, that's a title unification bout that DAZN could push. I think it's a much easier fight to make for Triple G against Charlo because of the style matchup. You know, we know that Triple G doesn't want to fight somebody like Demetrius Andrade because of the style matchup. He's a southpaw. He's a tricky, slick boxer. But a guy like Jermall Charlo is a guy that has good boxing skills, but he's going to be right there to bang along with you. And it's a perfect style matchup for Triple G. And I believe if they're on the same network, DAZN is going to push that fight through. And then, of course, you have the grand prize of all, which is the Canelo Alvarez fight, which is the fight that Jermall Charlo truly wants to have. But he has to get through these guys first in order to build his reputation to get that Canelo Alvarez big payday fight. And I believe that Canelo Alvarez will definitely want to fight him. We already know that DAZN has approved Jermall Charlo recently so that he could fight Canelo Alvarez. It's an option for Canelo Alvarez along with Triple G, Demetrius Andrade, Billy Joe Saunders, and of course the Sergey Kovalev fight, which Canelo Alvarez is looking at next. But what happens if Kovalev is not available for Canelo Alvarez? Then these options are on the table. And a perfect matchup to see somebody like Demetrius Andrade and Jermall Charlo fight for title unification. It's the process of elimination which Canelo Alvarez is riding right now. Everyone knows that Canelo Alvarez is not going to fight each and every fighter. Everyone wants their title shot. But guys like Triple G, who already got his shot twice, guys like Demetrius Andrade, who's still waiting for his opportunity, and Jermall Charlo, who is waiting for his opportunity, are all going to have to fight each other one way or another to unify those belts once again, and of course make it easier for Canelo Alvarez. I know this is something that fans do not want to hear, but it's the process of elimination where Canelo Alvarez is going to look at all these other guys and see who enhances their resume by fighting one another so that these guys can unify the titles, so that these guys' profile will become much bigger and a fight becomes much more interesting with Canelo Alvarez, because they will feel that if the man that gets through these other guys becomes the big talked about name in boxing, then Canelo Alvarez could definitely make a very big fight opportunity against that man and win the titles all over again without going through the tougher task of facing Triple G a third time, without facing Demetrius Andrade, a very tricky fighter, without facing Jermall Charlo, a guy that's considered to be dangerous as a good puncher and a good boxer. So Canelo Alvarez, even though I believe he was willing to fight all of these guys, the business team of Canelo Alvarez is not going to go that route. They're going to wait to see if these guys all fight each other and eliminate each other one by one. And the last man standing will get the grand prize of the biggest payday of their career against Canelo Alvarez. That's just the way boxing business is. It sucks. I'd rather see Canelo fight each and every man, but we know this is not how it works. And we're just going to have to face the facts that guys like Demetrius Andrade and Jermall Charlo have no other choice but to fight each other. And this is the time to make this fight now. And I would love to see this fight happen because I think that both of them are very skilled fighters. Both of them have good, decent punching power. And both of them are going to present a very action-packed fight where boxing fans are definitely going to tune in and really watch this fight to see who is the better of the two, because they have a long feud that has been going on for years, and it's time to settle the score once and for all. Demetrius Andrade needs to call out Jermall Charlo, and Charlo needs to be able to call out Demetrius Andrade and say, let's get it on once and for all. And that's my take on both of these fighters fighting each other. I'd like to thank everyone for tuning in to this YouTube channel right here, J. Calderon Boxing Talk. Please hit that little red subscribe button, hit that bell icon so you get all my notifications. Share this video, drop a comment, like this video. Also follow me on all social media platforms, on Twitter, on Instagram, and on the Facebook boxing group page, all under the same name, J. Calderon Boxing Talk. I'm J. Calderon, Stan Clear Entertainment. Thanks for your support. Keep watching and please subscribe.